Hello guys, welcome to game number 3 between Vinchester and SeOul in the Empire Collective Cup Gold League. Score is 1-all, and it's going pretty well for both, I suppose. Early win for SeOul after a pretty bad start. Vinchester evening out the scores on his home map, which was obviously Arena, and now we're going into game number 3, which is SeOul's home map, and that is Arabia. Of course, since it's 1-all, it means that we are guaranteed now to see 4 games, which means we will 100% see the last game as well, which is cool, since the 4th game is generally very random with the map pack, and can really throw some interesting things out there. But yes, so we're going into Arabia now, and I'm just glad that it's not going to be an Aztec war. It's going to be a Meso war, though. We're still going to see Aztecs versus Mayans, and that is fine. That's all well and good. But there's a very good reason. There's a very good reason why in Game 1 and 4, the Aztecs, Mayans, Vikings, and Huns were banned. And that is because, as you guys have been able to see already in just round 1 of the event, the Aztecs and the Mayans are dominant in the hidden civ picks when it comes to game 2 and 3, when there's no limits to what civs you can pick. So Aztecs, Mayans, it's not an Aztec war for a change though, which is nice, and we'll see how it goes. So down to the southeast of the map in the purple, we've got Vinchester, he's playing as the Mayans, and on the left of the map in the blue, we've got SeOul playing as the Aztecs. So a non-mirror, like I say, and it'll be an interesting matchup, that's for sure. Aztecs and Mayans, they're strong in their own ways, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But before we do, we'll say thank you. Thank you to SearchEngineRevs.com for providing $1,000 to the prize pool of this event. They're an awesome bunch of guys for actually supporting an AoE event. Like no corporation does that these days, because I mean we're growing, we're getting there, and they've made that step, which is awesome. So big thanks to them for supporting this event and providing some of the prize pool. They offer SEO services for pretty much anyone. If you want to get found on the internet, they are the guys to go to, so check them out, and their links are below the video and below the stream. So I was just looking at the chat for a second, talking about CSGO, all that CSGO talk, man. I'm nearly LEM. Yeah, actually, that's a good point. I played CSGO yesterday, and I played with a friend who was global, and then the rest of us were Legendary Eagle. So there were 4 Legendary Eagles and a global in my team, and the entire other team were all Supremes. How does that work? I mean, that makes no sense. Supreme is 2 ranks above Legendary Eagle, and then just because we have a global, they're all Supreme. I don't know. We still did great though. Like we still nearly won, which was awesome. So I think we got lucky. We got some bad Supremes. But yes, back to the game, I guess. We'll have a look at the players' maps and see how it goes. So let's have a look here. Vinchester's map, he's starting to wall up a little already, actually. This wall on the left side, really easy to wall. In fact, this is actually very nice for him. Up to this gold, up to this wood line. This wood at the back here covers everything he needs on the left side of his base. The front of his base, super easy wall between this wood line and the cliffs. And then all he's got to worry about really is the right-hand side. Even here, he could kind of wall across a little bit, and considering Vinchester here playing as the Mayans, he doesn't have to drush normally, but since he's playing as the Aztecs, he has no choice. He has to drush this one, and he's going to obviously build his barracks out here and try and build in front of this gold. So really good map for him. Although his gold is on the front, although his berries are on the front, it's just such an easy wall that it kind of makes up for all of that stuff. So yeah, that's pretty solid. Thank you, by the way, very much to I Kill Viper. I'm sure you do. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Thank you very much for subbing. Much appreciated. Welcome to the Waldo Warlords as well. You get your shout out, of course. I didn't want you to think I was gonna like miss you out or anything, but yeah. Thank you very much. SeOul then, SeOul. Good old SeOul. What's he got up to on his side of the map? He's got back gold actually, but it's really far out. It's really far out, man. It's so far away. And he's actually throwing a real curveball out there. I've been saying curveball a lot today. I don't know what's wrong with me, but he's doing something a little strange, doing something a little different. Gold right at the back. A little awkward, because even though it's at the back, it's quite far out. So, I don't know, Vinchester could come around the side and hit that. Forward wood here, his back wood it's not great since there's this oasis, and he's quite far from the edge of the map, so walling is going to be a little tougher for him. So I think Vinchester off with a great map, off to a great start, but he's going to be caught off guard, I think, maybe, by Mr. SeOul's plan of action. Because it's not too often that you see a player do a fast feudal. 25 vills for Vinch at the moment, but just 21 villagers for SeOul. I'm liking this a lot, and it looks like he's going to go forwards with some villagers as well, sending some vills out to the back now to take this gold. But militia coming out, you know what it's going to be. You know what it is. It's man-at-arms, that's what it is, yeah. Militia 3 on the way out, but by the time SeOul reaches feudal, which is just going to be in a second, he's going to have man-at-arms on the map. And this drush from Vinchester, which the reason why he's drushing is because he's probably anticipating a 5 militia drush from SeOul. He's actually going to be caught a little off guard, perhaps. He's probably not going to be too surprised, but he's certainly going to know what's coming his way now. These forward villagers getting in there, throwing a few punches at these militia, and man-at-arms upgrade coming in very soon for SeOul. There it is, right now. And these villas on the front, maybe a forward tower or something like that. Now, SeOul's point of view, he's not really seen too much about Vinchester's map on this left side, so he doesn't know just how good it is. He doesn't know just how easy it is for Vinch to wall. But if SeOul can drop a tower on this gold, I mean, he doesn't see the gold, which is pretty unfortunate. But if he was to drop a tower there, that would be really awesome. But man-at-arms coming in, and it looks like he's just going to tear through this. Watchtower coming up just here on the left side. Oh my goodness me. He doesn't realize how close he was. If he'd have built it out here on the right, that would have been so much better. But still, Vinch going to come in with these militias, try and delay the watchtower. He's going to try and double wall this up to try and keep these enemies out. And this tower is going to come up from SeOul pretty comfortably, I think. And if SeOul can break down this barracks or this house, Vinch is going to be in a little bit of trouble. So Vinch right now, a lot of food in the bank, a lot of wood, and it looks like if he can wall this up, he might be tempted to still go ahead and do a semi-fast castle. This tower, he's so lucky about this tower, like that could have been so much worse. But it doesn't seem now like he's going to be able to wall this successfully. So the fast castle might have to be aborted here. It might be too risky to try and fast castle in this situation, because if SeOul comes in on this gold, and if he, well, goes ahead and towers this gold, then he is in a lot of trouble. And, well, Vinch gonna have to build some defenses up in here, get some watchtower up in defense, and he's, if he fast castles this, we'll give him the biggest balls of the century award. But I don't know, man. He's gonna be really hard pressed. He might even try it out still. But like I say, I mean, this tower's coming up right outside here. That's definitely gonna be in range of the gold, and that could be really awkward for him. But yeah, fast feudal man-at-arms, really, really nice strategy to see. You know, I absolutely love it. I think it's one of the most fun strategies out there. But Vinch, looks like he's, oh man, he's gonna take some mining, some stone on the right hand side, so he's gonna try and get some more towers up. And I mean, that's the thing, if your opponent's trushing you, you've got to take some stone, you've got to be prepared, and get ready for some more defensive towers. But yeah, for Vinchester now to fast castle, certainly a little risky, and he's gonna be able to at least take the gold on the left side, so he's got something in here. He's got like some kind of saving grace back here, which is nice. Well, yeah, on the front, SeOul staying aggressive, and the nice thing for SeOul here, I mean, I don't know why he's not done this yet, because he's seen this tower, but he can actually rush this tower here. It's far enough from the TC that the TC wouldn't actually hit the villagers. He'd have a hill attack bonus downhill on this tower, and if he comes forward with villagers and man-at-arms, this tower would go down pretty quickly. But anyway, more towers coming up from SeOul. He's going to try and make sure this gold is covered 110%, and indeed it will be. But he doesn't realize, because he's not scouted this left side, he doesn't realize that Vinch has gold right here. And Vinch, at the moment, making some archers to try and defend, putting them in this tower for the time being. But certainly, SeOul off to a great start in a situation now where he's got great map control. He's feeling comfortable, and he's just going to keep pressuring things on the front as well. SeOul also switching into archers as well. Plenty of gold at the moment because he's had these 3 guys on gold this entire time. So a little bit of gold in the bank. He can keep making some archers if he likes. He's doing some skirms in there as well. And Vinch now, more towers coming up. But this is the thing, like Vinchester in this situation, he's kind of really forced to play SeOul's game now. You know, I don't think he really wanted to do this build. Obviously, he had to drush. Against the Aztecs, you really don't have much choice but to drush. So he drushed it. That was the right thing to do, obviously. But he got caught out, I think. I think he was expecting a drush from SeOul, and what he got was a fast feudal and man-at-arms. He wasn't quite ready for that, I don't think. And as a result, he's now playing SeOul's game. He wanted to drush fast castle. He can't do that now. And he's now sat here with his archers back at home. And just forced to defend and put up some defensive towers, take that stone, and all that good stuff. But, you know, he's going to still have a really nice castle time. He's still making archers, so it's not like it's impacting his food income too much. And he has got plenty of farms up here as well, so he's doing just fine still. If you have a look at the KD, it's not like SeOul's come in here and absolutely massacred all of his villagers. He certainly cost Vinchester a bit of wood, certainly cost Vinchester a little bit of time. But Vinch in this situation is still doing alright. However, the back of this wood line here, watchtower coming up. Vinchester, he has seen it. He has got vision on this. So he's going to come in with the archers and deny this, which is a good job for him. Well played. Well spotted. If that had been 1 tile away, Vinchester would have had no idea. That villa's dead, and down goes the tower. So he saved his wood line there. That's a bloody good job as well, because Vinchester's wood now is not too good. He's got well, he doesn't really have many options, does he? He could either come over here on the left side, which is horrible, because it's on a hill, and he's kind of built around it now. He could come over here on this right side, but it's horrendous, because, well, it's Arabia, and there's oases here. Makes it really difficult. And so Vinch now, going up to the castle age, is of course still taking a lot of stone, and he'll probably just try and get a castle up straight away as soon as he hits the castle age. Castle maybe here on the front. I think that would be a good location. It'll push these towers away, and well, it might be risky though. We'll see, we'll see. He's definitely going to get a castle out though, and probably go straight into plumes here. Is he going to counterattack now, though? I mean, he could do that. He's got some archers on the left side. I mean, they're not going to be much use to him here at home, since he's already defending with the towers. So, could go and counter now, and try and find some villagers of SeOul. At the moment, 5 kills for Vinch, 2 deaths. So, he's actually doing alright. And he's actually now on the way up to the castle age still. So, his plan certainly disrupted, but he's still able to follow through what he intended to do from the start anyway. Just thanks to this gold on the left side, I feel. If Vinch wasn't able to get that, or if SeOul had scouted that earlier, I think that would have been a real problem for him. But, you know, getting 200 gold is not too hard if you build a market and utilize that, but obviously less than ideal. SeOul up to castle as well, and a little slower, of course, since he spent quite a lot on this aggression here, doing the man-at-arms and all the extra militia, of course, as well, and also making skirms. But he's up as well, and back at home now, he's got a couple of towers up to defend from a counter-attack, because playing really aggressive like this, oftentimes your opponent's going to try and counter-attack you, because you're expected to kind of be more open back at home, and, well, he is. He's, like we said earlier, not got a great map to wall, so I think doing the right thing with these towers here. But obviously, SeOul taking a lot of stones so far this game, building a lot of towers so far this game, and there's Vinchester's castle, so not quite here, but definitely in a good location, and like, the ideal location for this castle would have been to be able to be in range of all 3 of these towers. And so I think this is definitely the best place, since he's probably going to be able to hit all 3, and obviously with a castle up, he's going to be able to tear those towers down so quickly anyway. So Vinch should be able to push this back very comfortably, and at the moment Vinchester has got a really big advantage, I feel, at this stage. If he starts going plumes now, obviously in the castle age, the Aztecs not going to have too much in answer of the plumed archers. They could go for a siege workshop and try and get some mangonels out. But if they go for crossbow, as we know, the plumed archer is going to be superior there. And this castle is basically going to secure Vinchester's gold again. He's going to be able to destroy these towers now and go from there. So let's see what SeOul's plan really is here. Is he going to go for a boom? Is he going to just play passively? Might be a mistake to do that. Is he going to get a siege workshop up in preparation for the plumes? Is he going to go for crossbow? Well, crossbow at this stage, I don't think is the... Well, I don't know, you know, the thing is, he doesn't really have many archers out. He's only got a single archery range on the front. So, to go crossbow now would be really pointless, because he doesn't actually have any archers to upgrade. But as this game goes on, maybe he'll do some crossbow anyway. But still, like I say, plumed archers going to be really strong, going to be difficult to deal with, and Vinchester has pushed this right back. So a very, very good game from Vinch so far, dealing with a pretty tough situation at the start of this game, and also building up a second TC on this left-hand side, which is really far away from his TC, sorry, from his main base, but actually in an okay position. I mean, I think Vinchester knows now he's going to get pretty good map control. Plumed archers are going to be great for holding down the map control. Not only are they fast, strong, cheap, all the good stuff, but he knows he was going to be able to push this forward down. So this TC really far out on the left side, pretty undefended, but I think he feels confident in his ability to take that and keep it safe, because he's going to have good map control, and SeOul's probably not going to be pushing out all over the map trying to find his eco yet. The siege workshop coming out from SeOul, and I pretty expected that. Mangonels are going to be his best option, I feel, at this stage, but he's going to have to play a pretty defensive game now with Mangonels to defend. Vinchester looking so good at the moment. He's got 1,300 extra points at the moment now as well. TCs coming up from SeOul, 3 new TCs. If that doesn't say defensive, passive, like I'm gonna boom, I don't know what does. And I mean, that's the thing, SeOul doesn't have too many options right now of what he can do, but that Mango is coming out. He's gonna try and use that to defend as best he can. But obviously, forward castle from Vinch, some siege from Vinch as well, and it looks like this is going to be a fairly short game actually, with Vinchester possibly being able to close this one out in the castle age. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, obviously, the Mango going to be able to deal with archers just fine for now. But bear in mind, plumed archers can tank a Mangonel shot, 50 health versus the Mangonel's 40 attack. They can tank that, and that makes them really just so strong for so little cost. They're so good. Plumes all day, man. Plumes. Vinch then could go for a third TC at some point. He's got so much stone though. He could even go for another castle on the front in a minute. 2 castle drops on the front would be just so difficult to deal with. And as you guys know, it's so hard to take down a castle in the castle age. Like, you know, until you get to Imp, those castles are most likely going to be standing strong, unless you can get a solid ram rush onto them. And for SeOul to do a solid ram rush now, it's probably going to be very unlikely, I feel. Finch then, he is going to do another castle drop. There it is on the left side of SeOul's base. He's got one on the right, one on the left, and that's not only going to push away another tower, it's going to disrupt the wood lines. Man, SeOul is in for a whole world of hurt, I feel, very shortly. And Vinch, I mean, such an aggressive player, it seems. Like, after watching that arena game, so aggressive, and it worked. And this game now as well, playing very aggressively, it's probably going to work out pretty well for him, to say the least. A bunch of plumes on the left side, and of course Bodkinar is done, so extra range on those guys as well, able to pick those villagers off from a little further away. With their pierce armor, they're able to tank a little bit also, but SeOul's just like, dadgum, what am I gonna do in this situation? Obviously seeing yet another castle plopped up outside of his walls, and it's GG. Like I say, I mean, I was kind of expecting that to be closed out pretty quickly once Vinchester managed to not drop 1, but 2 castles outside of SeOul's economy once he's got those plumes out. And yeah, I mean, I think SeOul played an interesting start. I mean, I liked the fact he went for a fast feudal man-at-arms. You know, it's one of my favorite strategies, but Vinch had such an easy wall that game. It made it really easy for him to defend just with the wall, and SeOul's lack of scouting maybe let him down a little bit there. Obviously, SeOul's aggression was effective in the fact that it stopped Vinchester from doing what he wanted to do. Vinchester wanted to drush fast castle that one. And although he delayed that, although he stopped that, although he forced a different reaction out of Vinch still had a faster castle time. He still got the castle up and really just outplayed him in that situation, I feel. One of the strengths of the Aztecs is that because their drush is so strong, they can kind of force the game to go the way they want it to. If you're playing against the Aztecs and you do not drush, you're going to have a very bad time. So even though Vinch is playing the mines, he still did a 4 militia, almost a 5 militia drush there, in anticipation of what the Aztecs were going to do. And that is obviously a very, very strong point for the Aztecs. But Vinch just played really well, and that castle was in a perfect position, able to push straight back out. And once he had the map control, once he had the plumes out, what could SeOul do? I mean, his options were mangonels, eagles, or crossbows, and all of which... Eagle's not going to work too well in the Castle Age against Plumes. Crossbows weak to Plumes because their Plumes have better pierce armor, better health, better stats. Mangonel is really expensive and simply just a pure defensive strategy, which doesn't work when your opponent is dropping castles around your base and forcing you into a corner. It's not nice at all, but there you go. Vinchester going to get a second point on the board, and it's now 2-1 to Vinchester. Bear in mind, guys, the prediction, or not the... I guess the prediction for this set was 3-1 to Vinch, so we'll have to see how the last game goes, which is just getting started right now. And the last game is going to be played on the Empire Collective Cup Random